Have you ever wondered what gives someone the strength to hold on to their faith even when things get unimaginably hard? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. We're looking at faith, unity, and suffering through a really powerful lens.
So, right off the bat, the source material hits us with this incredible image. It's talking about early believers, people whose faith was so unshakable that even from a place of torture, what you heard wasn't screaming or despair, it was a cry of triumph. Wow, that really sets the stage for our whole discussion. A faith that doesn't just get through hardship, but somehow finds victory in it.
You know, that kind of powerful, unified faith we just talked about, it feels a world away from the challenges believers often face today. So the question becomes, how do we get back to that? Well, the source suggests it's a huge challenge, and it all starts with understanding where we are right now.
Get this. A writer named R.F. Cottrell really puts his finger on the problem. He basically says that the sheer variety of beliefs and doctrines within Christianity today is something the world has never seen before. This splintering, this fragmentation, that's presented as the core problem that needs fixing.
So, what's the solution? How do you fix it? The source points us straight to the idea of spiritual gifts, right out of the Bible. And these aren't just, random talents. They're specific roles, apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers, given by God for one very specific, very important reason, to build up the church and bring everyone together.
And this is where it gets really interesting. This slide shows a super important distinction. The argument is that the early church, they needed these gifts to maintain the unity they already had. It was about keeping things strong. But today, the argument is that these same gifts are needed to restore a unity that's been shattered. It's a totally different mission.
Okay, so we've been talking about this big, community-wide challenge, but now the focus shifts to something deeply, deeply personal. It's a fundamental question of faith that ironically often causes a lot of confusion and even more division. What actually happens after we die?
And the source poses this as a direct challenge to you. Just imagine you're in this conversation. Your friend is grieving, and they believe their loved one is in heaven right now. But maybe your understanding of the Bible is a little different. How do you even navigate that conversation with both honesty and compassion?
And you know what? The main takeaway here isn't some prepackaged answer. It's about the importance of the question itself. It's designed to make believers stop and really think about how to communicate their beliefs on a topic that is just so personal and so sensitive for everyone.
So, from that very personal question about death, we're going to zoom back out, way out, to the universal problem of suffering. This is maybe one of the biggest challenges to faith there is. If God is good, why is there so much pain in the world?
And the source doesn't shy away from this at all. It looks the horrifying reality of suffering square in the face and acknowledges, yes, this is a massive hurdle for faith. It's a reality that demands some kind of framework, some way to make sense of it all.
And here is the framework it presents, the Great Controversy. This idea basically views our entire world as the stage for a cosmic battle between good and evil. So within this framework, suffering isn't just random, meaningless chaos. It's seen as a tragic, heartbreaking consequence of this much larger conflict.
Okay, so if we're all caught in the middle of a cosmic battle, that sounds pretty bleak, right? Where's the hope? Where is the ultimate answer to all this pain and division? Let's look at the final piece of the puzzle.
The path to understanding is laid out in basically 3 steps. First, you have to acknowledge the problem itself. Suffering is real and it's awful. Second, you try to frame it within this idea of a great controversy. But that's not the end of the story. The final and most crucial step is where we find the real resolution.
And this, right here, this is the absolute core of the message. The source concludes that the ultimate answer to the problem of suffering is the cross. It's presented as more than just a historical event. It's the greatest possible demonstration of God's love and the rock-solid reason we can trust Him, even when nothing else makes any sense at all.
And that leaves us with one final huge question to think about. We've talked about the struggle for unity, the mystery of death, and the reality of suffering. When your faith is tested by all of these things, where do you find the strength to hold on? The source points us in one direction, but that's a journey everyone has to take for themselves.